So I've been feeling really sick and like trying to get out of it. I'm doing things like drinking more hot tea, drinking more water, taking detox baths, trying to make what I can of my soap with the materials that I have still. Um, the oils, essential oils. But I'm sick because of the poisoning that I've endured the most of it. And I'm sick to the point where my heart feel for the past like going on 2 years probably now that it's been feeling like it goes down my arm to especially it goes my whole arm but down especially the left side of my arm all the way down through here and especially in these two fingers, but lately it's been reaching 3 or 4 or more, and like even in my thumb, like right in here. I don't know if there's like something there that it would be creating that pain, but it's a pain that I feel is caused by whatever they got in my body for so long that I need out of my body. So that's why I've been asking for the toxicology report, and I've been asking them to do a process of elimination inside of the um, emergency room visit because I know that it's possible. But they're making it like I have to go make other appointments, which pushes me out further because I've already been decimated in my life due to what these people have done to me. So it places me in a very vicarious position. I've endured a long-standing poison along with the very unnatural things taking place in my life. The hacking and the constant causing me to have to go through this stuff alone, to having no one by proxy even that's on my side. And then when they are, it's to like literally leave them in blight or leave them in devastation. My own mom, for crying out loud, my brothers should feel so damn proud of themselves for never being available to help with the whole family. So they've created this stress in my life from jump with absolute aim to, in order to save their own faces from whoever they wanted to be. Not just growing up, but I mean legitimately keeping me poisoned up until I was meeting Jesse and having dealt with people from high school that were continuing to do things to me, creating me in a very way that was to create that unabridged stress in my life where the doctors don't help, they further gaslight, police deflect from the very forced goal in mind, I believe, to continue taking away any avenue of my own personal life, meaning the life that I would be living outside of a very cold and calculated, long-standing, acute poisoning of me. That type of abuse is just sick. And so it's made me sick, and it's made me feel sicker than sick in this past few days. Like, I don't know, like 3 days ago, I was unable to breathe. Like, at all, or like, get my full breath of air. Which I'm still having problems with, but right now I seem to be doing okay since I drank a tea and I had a soup. But it's just not enough with what I have. Like, I should be able to eat a full course meal. I haven't been able to eat a full course meal in a long time. I'd say I took myself out to eat like 2.5 months ago. And I think that was the last time that I had like a full course meal besides one other time with my mom being brought out to eat. So thanks for my mom, I've been able to live. But that's it. It's not the social human services division helping me in that fashion. They're actually just that call that I got for intake was just so rude. And then after decades of this poisoning, I think that I have the right to suggest to the absolute facts of what happened to me. Like to just suggest that after 40 years that you don't have it in your wherewithal to do an investigative work over your whole life. No, You do, and you absolutely do have the right to speak out about it. I think it's just a hideous remark that's coming from a system that wants to rather deflect and not want to help. So I've been fighting because I've been ignored by the police, I've been ignored by friends, by family members, even my blood brothers. Doctors, I've been ignored by the community and every area of my life that's being set up for me to feel this way. From the very devastational effects that these organized criminals can take. From my own studies, they were paying people off back in the 80s to kidnap kids. I don't think that there's not a connection there with Jacob Wetterling and me being kidnapped by the same motherfucking man, or almost kidnapped by... I was almost kidnapped by the same man, 2 to 2. I think all of the times that I was almost kidnapped, it was Danny Heinrich. And I think that these things are connected to what happened in my life growing up. Do you feel? Do you understand? Because my daddy was a fucking child molester, rapist. Motherfucker did things to make me wet in ways I shouldn't have gotten wet from. So, it's in other words like where these brothers of mine wanted to move to continue me being poisoned up to save their own faces. I think they grew up. They didn't want anything to do with it, but they also didn't want me questioning who they were and coming to me about it, which is really weird because you'd think that you would want to grow up and not be that way. You think you'd want to grow up that ladder, not go down that ladder while ripping off all of the rungs of that ladder so that the person that's trying to escape from what y'all are doing can escape. But no, they didn't want me running away from home. They didn't want me doing anything to be able to go about my own business and surface up the crime that was happening to me. So I'm speaking out about it because I've endured inside of this long-standing proxy relationship with Jesse Lee, and then multiple partners as well, who are also one after another to create the same devastational effects of the poisoning, a very cold, calculated, and acute, long-standing poisoning that I had already endured up to each single one of my partners that would be by proxy made. So anywhere I was where I was able to get free and experience any kind of peace, they wanted to figure it out to either contrive my life to where I wasn't able to get out of it and be happy, but they wanted to take from every last little experience that I've had and steal away from it, which is my writing money on Steemit, my Steam-backed dollars moved into Bitcoin, me suggesting to my brother that I wanted to leave it in Bitcoin because I didn't find this Omnicomp or anything to deal with it, and then he further gaslit me and pressured me into doing it, suggesting that after a certain amount of time that I would have enough money. But I even asked him then, okay, if this doesn't work, are you going to be able to support me? Are you going to be able to give me that money back? The answer was no, and I said, well, I don't feel comfortable doing it. He still talked me into it, and mind you, this was just after, I think it was like 3 days. 3 days prior to that, or 4 days prior to that I was poisoned up by Jesse Lee finding out where I lived. And then after that, my current relationship just went kaboom. So it's not only just Jesse in my mind that is working within this criminal syndicate, it's legitimately people I don't know the names and faces of that were at the same time, but prior to then, causing me the accident that I got in. I got T-boned. They blamed it on me. It took away my job. Like, who in their right mind thinks that these things are even possible? And then when I got discovery from that, and I went and paid for the discovery, well then it doesn't go to court. But if I didn't do those things and I didn't have discovery to bring to the courts, then all of a sudden it's just a place to game me up. You know what I mean? They're gonna run me into the ground with anything that they can run me into the ground with. That's how these criminal operations have been working in my life. And so I've experienced from my growing up the way that I've had to grow up with my own brothers creating that devastation in my life that I didn't want to come out here and speak out about. So it's not even about my being malicious or having any kind of malicious design. It's the fact that I have the right to speak out about these things because I've questioned the contents of their character. I've questioned what they've done to me. I've questioned why would they do that certain thing to me, or this certain thing to me, this or that. And then it just to the point where it's like I haven't been able to talk to them. I haven't been able to reason with them. I haven't been able to get them on the phone for long enough to just suggest to myself that these are toxic behaviors coming from these people that I love. It's hard to go past and actually speak out about because it is. It sounds nutty. To a regular person, it sounds completely nutty. But it's just the factor of the matter is how devastational this crime really is against me. And it's making it easier for others to control my life by proxy or push me out of their reasoning to be able to be there for me, to help me think through things normally, as the arsenic did to me, mind you, is not allow me to be able to think correctly, so that I couldn't even come to people about it, not even the people that were doing it to me, to suggest something's happening to me. It would be nice to have an extra set of eyes on what's happening in my life once in a while, and not just completely deflect and withdraw from what I'm suggesting to you. And I remember one Christmas me telling that to my brother, me walking to the car. He says, "Oh, well, we'll talk about it later." Well, we talk about it all like 2 times before you just withdrew completely again, just like they're withdrawing from me completely now. Just like my brother needed to move all the way to Texas, just like Jesse needed to deflect from what I was bringing to the table as far as the truth is concerned, when he lives 2 blocks away from me, and me suggesting, "I don't want to fucking hurt you, G. I just want to have a conversation with you about it." Because my belief is this: hurt people. All these people are hurting. They're hurting bad, and if they don't realize how badly they're hurting, to be able to do this to somebody's life, it's not my soul's life that's at stake. It's their own soul's life that's at stake for doing this to somebody that's suggesting right in the side of the Bible, "Don't hurt one single hair on my anointed." Because that's God's business, not mine. I leave it at the cross. I leave it at the feet of Jesus. To the best of my ability. It's really harsh what's happening to me on the daily. It's more things compiling on top of more things that I constantly have to bring to the feet of Jesus. And so this has been happening. It's my belief that this arsenic had been happening to me for the past 4 decades of my life. It's scary to me. I feel that I'm not being helped in any area in what I'm saying it to be, even here online, screaming out for help, or in text messages to family members, or in other areas of my life, my jobs, where I've written letters to suggesting that they make statements about my character, where it was good in work and where it failed to be good or failed to perform in the daily activities. These things would help me. But is anyone putting together a letter? I've asked legitimately one of my coworkers to bring it up in the manager meetings. Has he? I don't know. I've asked, can you please do something for me, because this is a serious and heinous crime that's been happening to me. And if I could get letters from not only everyone there, but from the last job, or even from that job's one of their clients, Pat, who was sending parts to get work done there, and even driving around for Pat to bring parts into other places. But the fact of the matter is that if I had these letters and they were coming from, say, 22 people, and they were going to the police and setting them on the police's desk, saying, "Do something to help this kid out," what he's saying and what he's dealing with, what I believe is real, it would help me. Create that paper trail for me. That's help. But my jobs were targeted, my love life was targeted, every aspect of controlling my life has been targeted. My financial life, my ability to feed myself, my ability to do my lawn, having that letter come to me when I know for a fact that those lawnmowers were gamed up, as well as my place. Like, they put a pan, and I think they put my brand new pan, mind you, into the oven with stuff all over it in order to lift it into the air, and I'm coming back and all of my walls are yellow. And it's just weird. That's gaslighting in it of itself. Like you have this light off, right? You go to work and you have this light off, and you come back from work, and all of a sudden, it's like that. I'm not saying this exact light, but that's what gaslighting is. You know for yourself something that you wouldn't do, and then they're just doing it to you anyway to specifically target your brain when they're poisoning you. So these things would help me if somebody actually was able to put together those letters for me. I'll bring them to the police. I'll come and get them. I don't care if I don't have a car anymore or not. I'll walk 50 miles and come pick them up. And I'll go walk to the police station and I'll drop them off. They're hideous crimes against me, and I've been targeted in every aspect of my life in order to control me and create more pain within me than was already being created by the cold and calculated, acute, long-standing poisoning. So I've been asking for help with my yard due to my lawnmower. I even brought this stuff up to Aurelia, suggesting that I had been being targeted, and I needed someone there to be able to be sure that she was there for me, or that they're there for me, so that I could help figure this stuff out. It was said in like our devotions towards each other that we weren't going to be like that. We were going to be able to work this thing out and figure things out together, and we're going to move in a way to be together. That was not such the case, though. I feel really, really devastated and sad about it. If she doesn't feel devastated and sad about her own actions, I don't know how anybody could feel any which way good about what they've done to me. And yes, that includes Emily Dodge, especially fucking suggesting that that car is mine, having me pay that much on a car that she's just going to utilize me like a fucking coupon for, so I can just go away. Having done everything I did, everything I fucking did there, for nothing. No relationship, no friendship, no fucking, I'm here for you, just good riddance, is what I got. And I said, no, the good riddance is me to you, not the other way around. Bye. The fuck out of here after what you did to me to leave me. Oh, I got full coverage on the car, so I don't care what happens. Oh, okay. I'm going down the road. I almost fucking died, and lo and behold, by the time I'm getting back to her house, I've already forgotten these things. It's constantly gaslighting me and controlling me around every corner of my life, making me feel like I'm going to die, not even knowing why, or not being able to reason through it. But it's suggested to having the law in their own ability to protect themselves before I'm even aware of it myself. That's what my brother Kenny was. I'm like, really? I didn't know that. Why are you even doing this to me? I don't get it. I wasn't supposed to get it, though. You see, I wasn't supposed to understand any of it. Not reach discovery, not think that I even had a smidgen of what was the reality of me having to face up with how these people were being cold and calculated against me. But that's what it was. It was to leave me unprotected, and theirs is to serve and add more pressures into my life, creating by craft the very cold and calculated crime against me, to leave me in devastation in that way. So I'm coming from my own brothers in a way that's other people are ignoring, taking me seriously. Or I'm coming at it in the way of not only my brothers, but for others out here and just the natural public being able to take me seriously. But it's the most heinous crime of its type, suggesting to me that my whole life has been targeted to the same levels of pain that they've created just to add the stress and constantly dump and pile on more stress in whatever avenue that they can create, much like the constant nail in my tires after getting tires. And it's like, I know that these things are being created because or I feel wholeheartedly they're being created because nobody has that type of luck. It's just the same thing as that nobody almost gets kidnapped 3 times by the age of 10 or 11. I know what happened to me. I know it was happening to me, and these things were to add that kind of stress where I had been riddled with the very power of these people abusing me and even adjusting others to the abuse of me, suggesting to them, like my brother said that one time on text message, "Oh, I'm sorry for anyone that has to listen to this." Meaning that his own little brother's crazy, no one should be listening to him at all, in other words, type of thing. And it's just such an abusive way of power, of assertion, to adjust somebody else's viewpoint of their own family, adjust them in that kind of way by what you had been doing to your own family member, not me. I'm not going around being narcissistic and poisoning people up like that one channel was suggesting of my, the smear campaign that was created over me. But I quit looking at this stuff because that's all they want you to do. They want you to have to fight them doing what they're doing continuously versus you fighting to continue doing what you otherwise would do, which is me speaking out against the crimes that are happening to me now without all of the extra added stress that they're trying to create in my life. Simply put, so that when they do these things and they're adjusting other people in that fashion, it's gatekeeping them from being able to see things for what they are, and even not seeing things for what they are, but just seeing things as, let's do something to help this guy out. He thinks that his jobs have been decimated. Let's listen to him and suggest to ourselves that he's telling the truth. Let's do something instead of further campaigning, smear campaigning the guy and smearing him out of his name and targeting and making more assault on his character. Let's do something to really love and support this kid. Let's see if we can lift this guy up. Not let's place them in more blight, place them without anybody else to talk to, and especially not a certain person inside of somebody's life that reached out to me about the certain person that was doing these things to me. Finding things out for her own self that she's not feeling the Spirit of the Lord with that person. You see, I don't think the Spirit of the Lord coming down inside of the Holy Ghost or inside of Jesus was to be able to suggest to anybody in a loving way that when somebody's hurting, that Jesus would run away from them and withdraw and don't help Mary Magdalene. No. You stay away from Mary Magdalena, because Mary Magdalena is crazy. She's got, okay, I'm just getting at the fact. It's just nowhere in the Bible. That's not love, and love is not withdrawing from the people that are needing your love and support. If you find it in the Bible anywhere at all, suggest to me where to read, and I'll try and figure it out to flip it around into what's actually being said there. Because I don't think it's in the Bible. Anyway, if you have it and you want to support me in any kind of fashion, financially, spiritually, ethically, morally, spiritually, with the lawnmower, I don't know, hiring 80 bunnies to come and eat up all my grass, or bring some horse over or something. I'm just kidding, but seriously, I just need some help over here, you guys. I need some help, and I'm asking, please help me. I've never had a normal life at all, and I would really like to just have a normal life from here on out and die in peace. Thanks. So I don't think it's very much to ask, do you? Do you? I didn't deserve this, you guys. I'd really like your love and support. If you could do anything to help me, it would mean a lot. Till the next one, peace.